Hello, my name is David Detmer. I'm a professor of philosophy at Purdue University Northwest. And I wanted to say just a couple of things about the philosophy program at Purdue Northwest and the courses we have coming up this fall. First of all, if you are not familiar with philosophy, it's usually not taught in high school. Philosophy deals with the most basic fundamental questions that there are. Questions about the nature of reality, about the nature of knowledge and how it is best acquired, the nature of value, what is the good life, what does it mean to be ethical, things of that nature. And it's always very timely. So, for example, during this pandemic, you're probably familiar with debates that people have about personal autonomy on the one hand versus sort of the public spirit with regard to a public health issue. So some people will say, hey, it's my body, it's my freedom. I should be able to decide whether to get vaccinated or to wear a mask and so on. And others say, no, wait a minute, your behavior affects others. It's a public health issue and your decisions affect other people. So you have a responsibility. And then there are also questions about the government's role in this. What kind of powers does the government legitimately have versus, when is it going too far and overstepping its authority and so on. Well, these sorts of questions have been written about and discussed and debated in philosophy for many, many centuries. And so in philosophy courses, we tend to discuss things like that. And so if you enjoy thinking about interesting ideas, discussing them in a friendly environment, that's what goes on in philosophy courses at Purdue Northwest. In terms of what we have coming up this semester, fall 2021, I'll mention some of our courses. We have Philosophy 110, which is called The Big Questions, Introduction to Philosophy. That one deals with several major fundamental issues. Is there a God or not? How should we determine how we should behave ethically? Are there sound theories of morality we should subscribe to? Again, how do we acquire knowledge? What does it mean for something to be a matter of knowledge rather than just a matter of opinion, and so on? Several questions of that sort are considered in a class like that. Then we have Philosophy 111, Ethics, and that just deals with morality, the good life, values, things of that nature. We have also in the ethical vein, we have 324, Ethics for the Professions. So that deals with moral issues that arise in a professional context, for example, in nursing, in engineering, in journalism, in many other professional fields as well. And we also have just recently added Philosophy 321, Engineering Ethics, geared exclusively for moral problems that arise in the context of engineering. So if any of you are engineering majors, that's something that you might want to consider. We also have Religions of the East. That's being offered on the Westville campus. So I might mention we have classes in person in Hammond, in person in Westville, and in online format. So lots of different ways to take philosophy courses. Just briefly mentioning some of the other things we do. We have a very active program. The faculty in philosophy are all published authors and scholars who write books and articles on philosophy. We have a journal, a magazine called Symphony of Reason, in which we publish articles, papers, essays by students on philosophical questions, and not just by philosophy majors. Lots of our publications are by people in other fields who take a philosophy course and they write a great essay that's worth reading by a general public, and we publish those. We also have a public I don't know if you call it a lecture series, a kind of public forum called Philosophy Matters, where we have usually 4 or 5 presentations each year. So for example, last year we did one on free speech and what is called cancel culture. We had one about this controversy about tearing down monuments for example, Confederate generals, that sort of thing. We had one that talked about what a crazy year 2020 was, what with the pandemic, what with the murder of George Floyd and the subsequent public demonstrations and so forth. Also, this is not strictly philosophy. We have a series on race and racism that philosophy professor Deepa Majumdar, my colleague, organizes. And all of these presentations, they tend to be widely attended, not only by the PNW community, but the surrounding community as well. So these are some of the things that we do. If you have any questions about philosophy and our courses, please feel free to contact me. My email address is djdetmer, DETMER, at pnw.edu. I'd be happy to answer your questions. If any of this sounds interesting, please do consider enrolling in a course or courses in philosophy at PNW. I hope you'll consider it. Thank you very much for your attention. Take care.